Good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Anowe Timtope Daniel, a 300 level law student of Adekunle Ajashi University, Akungba Akoko. And in this podcast, I will be critically analyzing the intellectual property issues arising from the major Nigerian movie, DOMITILLA. The dispute was between a well-known Nigerian producer, Zeb Ejiro, and an actress, Anne Chimanze, over who owns the legal right to the name DOMITILLA. Is it the producer who has been using the name for over 2 decades, or the actress who trademarked the name few years before the dispute? Now, here is the background of the story. In 1996, the well-known Nigerian producer, Zeb Ejiro, released the classic movie, DOMITILLA, and the movie instantly became a hit. 3 years later, a sequel to the movie was released again by Zeb Ejiro, titled DOMITILLA 2. And Njemanze played the title character in both movies so brilliantly that she was widely known as Domitilla outside the acting sphere. Decades later, Zeb Ejiro again produced part 3 of the movie, titled Domitilla the Reboot. But prior to that, he reached out to Anne Njemanze and requested that she plays the role of an aunt to the main character due to the fact that she can no longer play the youthful role of Domitilla. But the talks broke off because they were unable to reach an agreement over remuneration. And Njemanze wanted 17 million naira, but the producer claimed that it was too exorbitant for just 5 scenes. He went on to produce the film without the star actress's involvement. Surprisingly, he was struck with an obstacle, a cease and desist order, restraining Zeb Ejiro from continuing with the production of the movie. She claimed that it was an infringement of her trademark rights, as she had registered the name with the trademark registry on the 16th of September 2020. Zeb Ejiro then petitioned the trademarks registry to challenge the registration of the name by an Njemanze. He claimed that the trademark belonged to him and he has been using it since 1996. He also claimed that the trademark was registered in bad faith. The rebuttal of the respondent was that she registered the trademark 10 months before she was approached by the petitioner for the remake of the movie, so it was not registered in bad faith. The second defense was that the opposition of the trademark application, which is 2 months after the application date has elapsed, so the tribunal had no jurisdiction on the matter. The ruling of the court was formulated on the sole issue, which is whether or not an Njemanze is the true proprietor of the trademark. The foundation of the ruling of the tribunal was based on the true creator of the name, and it's crystal clear that Zeb Ejiro was the true creator of the name, while an Njemanze was contracted by him to play the role. It was also shown that the actress would not have been associated with the mark if not for the petitioner, who hired her to play the role of Domitilla in the first place. The court also stated that the petitioner was the first to use the mark commercially. The tribunal rejected the respondent's argument that proprietorship is determined by first in law, but relied on the common law principle as established by Morelt LJ in the English case of Albasam trademark, where it was held that the proprietorship is determined by the first to use the trademark. The court also stated that the respondents registered the name in bad faith because the actress knew that the petitioner has been using the name since 1996, and she registered the name to prevent the producer from releasing the movie. The court did not rule on the jurisdiction or the affliction of time, as the respondent claimed, but made its reference to the provisions of Section 22, subsection 1 of the Act, which allows the registry to withhold the registration when a trademark is accepted in error, and also section 13 subsection 7, 18 subsection 7, of the Trademarks Act, which permits the registry to correct any error in connection with the trademark application before or after acceptance as the basis of its jurisdiction to arbitrate the matter. So, here is my opinion. Is the ruling of the court right? In my opinion, the ruling of the tribunal is right because if the tribunal had ruled in favor of the respondent, it would have been an injustice to the petitioner who actually owned the name, and it will also be a bad judicial precedent as it will allow other actors and actresses to trademark the name of the roles which they had played. The court was also right in ruling that the respondent registered the name in bad faith, as she knew that the petitioner was the one who brought about the name Domitilla. It was also the one who contracted her to play the role. So based on this, it is right that the trademark was registered in bad faith. Does the ruling conform with IP law? Yes, the ruling conforms with both the domestic and international statutory provisions in this regards. Section 3 provides for the protection of an unregistered mark under person of, while Section 7 of the Trademarks Act also provides for the saving of vested rights. A proprietor on or registered user of a trademark shall not be entitled to interfere with or restrain the use by any person of a trademark identical with or nearly resembling it in relations to which or a predecessor in has continually used the trademark from a date previous to the use of registration of the first mentioned trademark. So, clearly stating from this, an Njemazi cannot prevent Zeb Ejiro from using the trademark due to prior use. Section 11 further prohibits the registration of marks that are likely to deceive or confuse the public regarding the nature or origin of the works. Section 18 subsection 7 further provides for the correction of a trademark by the registry when it is registered under error, and according to Section 16 of TRIPS Act, according to Article 16 of TRIPS Act, it provides that a well-known trademark is to be protected even if it is unregistered. Domitilla is a well-known trademark, hence it falls under this article. Though the Trademark Act is adequate in the ruling, nonetheless, some improvements are necessary. They include the enforcement measures. Better enforcement measures should be put in place so as to ensure that the statutory provisions are not just paper tigers. Overall, the registrar and the courts were right. The protection of Domitilla as both a theme and a brand is consistent with the purpose of intellectual property, which is to reward creativity and prevent others from unfairly profiting from it. Allowing unlicensed exploitation of such a famous Nollywood title would undermine the confidence in the film industry and discourage creative works. This reason is in tandem with the Supreme Court's position in Ata Industries Nigeria Limited versus NB PLC, where the court stressed that IP rights must be enforced strictly to protect commercial integrity. Conclusively, the Domitilla dispute shows the real importance of intellectual property protection in Nollywood. So it is pertinent to have a trademark registered timeously to enjoy the protections provided by the Trademarks Act. The registrar and the courts applied the law correctly and I agree with their conclusions. That will be the end of this podcast. Thank you all for listening. Bye.